trying to turn the volume up so that it could hear them.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our City Council public comment period. The time is 5:01 p.m. on April 16, 2025. Call our meeting to order. Madam Clerk, please roll.
Councilmember Moore. Present. Councilmember Miki Ortiz. Councilmember Villagrán. Councilmember Rocha Garcia. Councilmember Castillo. Councilmember Cabello Murphy. Councilmember Calderón de Carrillo. Councilmember Velez. Councilmember Courage.
Present.
Councilmember White.
Here.
Mayor Newman.
Here.
Mayor Moore.
All right, welcome everyone. Tonight is about hearing comments from the public on any subject. There is no council discussion or deliberations or the Texas Open Meetings Act. Speakers will have 3 minutes individually. You may use their time or cede their time to someone else who is present and sign up to speak, not both. I'll call names in order of sign up. Please limit audience reaction so people can get their name called. Speakers are here to address the City Council. Written comments may be submitted for the record. The playing of recordings is not permitted, and speakers should address the City Council, not the audience. I'll give a courtesy reminder about these expectations. However, if you can't hear it, in order can be maintained, the meeting will be adjourned. So I'll call our first speaker signed up is Mr. John Bachman. John Bachman. Okay. James Wells. Mr. Wells, you'll be followed by Dana Coronado.
Mayor and members of the City Council, my name is Jim. I would like to address the City Council regarding the city's downtown street performer policy. Street performers are part of the unique charm of downtown San Antonio. Unfortunately, there are issues with current enforcement of the policy. I've played on Houston Street occasionally over the years and have always obeyed it. The policy states that street performers may only perform for 1 hour in one spot, so the space may be utilized by other performers, giving passersby a chance to see or hear a variety of performances. However, certain street performers are playing in the same spot for 4 or 5 hours or longer with very loud amplification, some with multiple speakers that can be heard as far away as half a block. Some of these same performers are playing with loud amplification after allowed hours for as long as 1 hour, and police refuse to do anything about them playing after hours. Other performers are tired of the situation but are scared to complain for fear of retaliation. One complaining performer was letting the public know the other individual was violating the street performance policy and was told by him in writing that if they didn't quit informing the public about his violations, he would be left, quote, with no choice but to retaliate, unquote. The individual making that threat then filed a complaint with the other performer's employer in an attempt to get them in trouble with work or fire. He also complained to their co-workers about this non-work related issue. The majority of street performers follow the policy. When a tiny handful abuse the policy, it makes it difficult to peacefully coexist. One performer was playing and the individual with multiple speakers set up about 20 feet away and turned up their volume so loud the first performer could barely be heard by someone standing 10 feet away from him. I was in attendance at a reading meeting that was held in Texas, which included downtown business owners, where it was mentioned certain street musicians playing very loud and becoming a problem. I'm asking if we can call for enforcement of the existing policy or having it rewritten so as to be enforceable if it currently isn't. Adding a minimum distance between performers and maybe banning amplification might go a long way towards making it possible for street performers to peacefully coexist. Thank you for taking the time to hear me today.
Thank you, Mr. Wells. Dana Coronado. You'll be followed by Jason Paul.
You just ruined my day.
I grew up here, and I like to be able to walk through my city and feel vibes of beauty and art. But when there is a sound disturbance, it ruins that feeling. When I walk down Houston Street, all I can hear is a cacophony of blaring speakers. The music is hard to decipher. It is so loud and it sounds like constant shrieks and squeaks. It is a nuisance. The performer monopolizes the entire atmosphere, and it is not fair. But that is far from the point. The point is when I walk through my city, I want to hear sounds of my city. Laughter, people talking about their plans for their next adventure, and talented street musicians sharing the space and allowing others enough space so that everyone can be heard. Everyone deserves to be able to share their music with the public. That's a busker's right. But when you have a performer using multiple speakers to drown everyone else out so that they can take over the entire street, so that only they can be heard, and at high decibels, it is no longer sharing the space. We all should allow musicians who want to fill the air with their beautiful music to do so equally and with common courtesy. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Coronado. Jason Paul. Mr. Paul, you be followed by Nicholas Kowski. Mr. Paul, would you kindly turn your flash up, because I can't see you with the flash on like that.
I mean, I know you can see it. I mean, it's not gonna hurt you. I'm not that close to you. So, you didn't see the news, what SAPD did like a couple days ago. Picked a girl up, put her in his car, drove to McDonald's, picked her food, drove to Alpaca Local Park, locked his door, took his seatbelt off, and about to rape her. SAPD, it's all over the news. So, if your wife's in that car, what happened to you? You think you're going to be mad about it? So how are you going to fix that problem? How are you going to fix your problem? SAP is your problem. Bear County is your problem. She's the one who got raped a couple days ago. He drove her in the McDonald's park, drive-thru, pick up food, drove to the park, about to rape her. A SAPD officer is all over the news. If your wife's in it, you'd be mad, right? Question does that. How are you going to fix the problem? It's election time. You have a power to step up and put a stop to this corruption in the courthouse, SAPD, Bear County, and your city. You almost raped her a couple days ago. I don't know, you watch the news? How are you going to fix that problem, Mayor? You want to be a mayor, or you want to just be wrong? If your wife's in that car, y'all know you'd be mad. I'm asking you a question. So, you need to think about tonight when you go to sleep. Read the news and think about when you're going to sleep tonight. She almost got raped. Is that fair? By SAPD. Bear County, taking drugs in there. I know they're having sex with females in there. Taking drugs, tattoo equipment, all that. You got a question about that? I know you're looking at me. You know it's true. So, I don't care about any of these. See all that emails up there? I send a whole lot of emails all across the country. I got proof right here. And guess what I'm about to do? Oh, you're going to see SEC coming on to you and look at all your books you did in the mayor and going through everything. Better get ready. They coming. I got emails all right here from all y'all. I hope y'all happy with it. I got proof. I got evidence against all y'all right now. I already told them about the SAPD about to rape your girl. They saw it. They're not happy about that. Justice Department ready for it. Supreme Court in Washington, they're ready for it. They're ready to come after you, Mayor. You're looking at maybe a prison time.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. Nicholas Pikowski. Mr. Pikowski, to be followed by Mark Duckworth.
That's all their emails.
Thanks, I'll scan it and send it out.
Yeah.
Good evening. Thank you all for having me. I appreciate it. Speak up.
You're going to be touching me, okay?
I believe when I was last here, I mentioned that warranted, and I suggested maybe communicating with the Bear County Commissioners Court, because I think there's some overlap with the city of San Antonio in how they conduct business with the Bear County District Attorney's Office and the Bear County Sheriff's Office. If I have time to get through it, I'm going to try and just briefly read some portions of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure as to why I believe some of these concerns should be directed towards the District Attorney's Office and the Sheriff's Office rather than the City of San Antonio. Under Article 2.01 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, the District Attorney representing the state shall not suppress facts or subpoena witnesses capable of establishing the innocence of the accused. Under Article 2.03 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, shall be the duty of the attorney representing the state to present by information to the court having jurisdiction any officer for neglect or failure of any duty to be enjoined upon such officer. When such neglect or failure can be presented by information, whenever it shall come to the knowledge of said attorney that there has been a neglect or failure of duty upon the part of said officer, it shall also be the duty of the trial court, the attorney representing the accused, the attorney representing the state, and all peace officers to so conduct themselves as to ensure a fair trial for both the state and the defendant, and not to impair the presumption of innocence. Under Article 2.19, on the first day of each month, the sheriff shall give notice in writing to the district attorney where there be one as to all prisoners in his custody, naming them and under the authority by which he is detaining them. Under Article 2.18, when a prisoner is committed to jail by warrant from a magistrate or court, he shall be placed in jail by the sheriff. My reading or interpretation of that is that the sheriff is required to have a warrant to place someone in jail. That's something you can discuss with your attorneys. I'm not a lawyer. Under Article 2.20, whenever a duty is imposed by this code upon the sheriff, the duty shall be lawful and performed by his duty for the rest of the day. I bring that all to your attention because no less than 2 times I've been arrested in the county of Bear and placed in Bear County Jail without a warrant. I have that here as evidence on the public records of jail information that's, I guess, recently provided, and they merged obviously all the documents with there. So if in fact there are requirements for the sheriff to be placing people in jail with warrants and not holding them there without warrants, I'm bringing that to your attention. I think that's happened to myself, Mr. Jason Paul, and y'all who are there, and I think it's still occurring, and I'd like that to stop. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Bukowski. Martha Huerta. Ms. Huerta, you'll be followed by Daniel Huerta.
Thank you, and again, thank you for this opportunity to speak. As I mentioned before, my son and was the judge has mentioned me, and now it's out, but now I want to bring the issues that the people after are going out of jail are county, me, Jason, and my son. We had housing issues. I don't want to mention about me and Jason problem, just my son and myself for now. I was having problem to live. Why? Because I was evicted, as I mentioned before. Now we are living because a guy that I meet outside the jail give me the opportunity to live with him. Why? Because I submit my application to Section 8 because when I was living with my son and Precinct 5 and first at the court and he was in detention, I was in Section 8. With this issue and with my income losses, I had to apply. I was seeing error all the time in the computer. I was seeing an error. I tried to apply, I tried relocation, and I was not able to access to the web page. I was looking for a caseworker. The caseworker that talked to me for saying she cannot help me anymore. I was working by myself. I submitted the application, I tried over the phone, I tried 211, I tried 311, and nobody told me. At this point, we don't have a place to live. I don't have jobs with the 2 accidents I had before. I am in therapy again, and I don't have income with this issue. Why? Because my son's detention bring another economic issue. I have to pay attorneys, I have to pay bonds that are incorrect in my son's record and in my personal income because was losses. I am in losses at this point. I don't have any income with the accident car. Now, my son Carlos borrowed the car. Now his car is damaged with this accident. Now another issue is coming to our family. And many people that are in jail are having this issue. Losses income, losses houses, losses cars. We cannot permit this in the communities.
Ms. Huerta. Daniel Huerta. Mr. Huerta to be followed by Cynthia Cavazos.
Good evening. My name is Daniel Huerta. This is not personal or business. This is a due course of justice to recover damages for injury to my person and property, including the deprivation of rights and privileges of citizens, residents, and immigrants. With interpretation as a verbal statement to commence a civil action against the state's judiciary system, the Berry County Sheriff's Office, Casa Hills Police Department, and other departments and agencies unnecessary aggravated use of deadly excessive force, including wanton disregard of federal mandates, rules of procedure, international laws, violations of treaties, and other agreements. I don't consider myself to be foreign or extraterrestrial, nor would my forefathers. Yet, on this continent, a common practice has been made to consider anyone and everyone as foreign. Methods of bullying, hazing, intimidation, murder, and genocide is the history of the American form of government. In fact, the Trail of Tears proves an interpolation to the train of historical atrocities. The health industry and the entire education and judicial systems must be immediately reformed. An impartial census and underrepresented communities of this nation have endured enough environmental, ecological devastation, economic oppression, and financial suppression. With respect to strictly enforce and establish absolutely necessary procurement of 28 U.S. Code 1343, Civil Rights and Elective Franchise, and 42 U.S. Code 1985. July 16, 2016, I suffered neck and spine injuries due to an unnecessary aggravated use of deadly excessive force from Casa Hills Police Department, Corporal Dodge 305, accompanied by Berry County Sheriffs. I must not only say at the time was Corporal Davila weighing at or about well over 300 pounds, but accompanied by Berry County Sheriffs who threw me to the ground and put their full body weight pressing down with their knees on my back, my neck, knees, and ribcage, including my hamstrings. September 12, 2018, presiding judge Joey Contreras, in utter violation of federal rules of civil procedure, made a decision to give a 10-year sentence. State-appointed counsel Maria Teresa Vito provided an affidavit stating she was unqualified to represent me, yet presiding judge Joey Contreras failed to comply with simple duties.
Thank you, Mr. Huerta. If you have a written statement, you can give it to our staff over here so you can make sure that we get it.
Okay, thank you.
Cynthia Cavazos.
Sorry, it's gonna take a while to get up there. I have a disability. Does that thing work up there? I can like show papers and stuff. How does that work? So, my name is Cynthia Cavazos. I'm gonna jot to excuse the dirtiness and nastiness of my paperwork. It's just plain that dirty. It's always a good and rainy outside. Okay, so that's the drain for the sidewalk. The drain is that black thing, and here's the other. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. 3 is that drain the John just saw, and then 1 is the something else. Anyway, that's how it's gonna look later on. So talking about water and the stuff that we need to do to be able to make sure that the water is like not on the streets and it has and it flows the right way. It makes it easier to start talking about the Gulf Coast aquifer. They have a lot of water that's being brought into the Gulf Coast, and because they have an aquifer and we have an aquifer, their water is different from our water. Their water is salty and ours isn't.
Thank you very much, Ms. Cavazos. All right, that is everyone who signed up to speak this evening. The time is 5:24 p.m. on April 16, 2025.
Hey, man, excuse me. Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
All those emails,
Yes, sir.
they had to see all those emails because that's all theirs. Not just them, but the whole country.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna scan it and send it out to all of them to make sure they can receive it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.